What's going on, everyone? I'm just your average, everyday, atypical Canadian nerd here to react to your average, everyday American man here to react to and learn about wild animal encounters in Canada. Excuse me if I have to clear my throat a few times. I apologize first. It's because I'm still getting over my first bout of COVID, which sucked. And I blame the Chinese Communist Party for my illness, which had me not doing videos for a week and recovering and making noises on my recordings. And of course, that's all I have to say about that. I'm taking a break today from doing my apples because my apple tree has finished crop, and I am stewing gallons of apples, or liters and liters and liters of apples. So far, I've done maybe 8 liters, about 2 gallons, and I'm not even halfway through the apple harvest this year. It's a big crop, but hey, it's good for me because what I'm doing here is I'm washing them, coring them, paring them into slices, stewing them, and freezing them so that I've got fruit to last me all winter long. It's wonderful. If you live in a climate where you can have fruit trees, I highly encourage it. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about wild animals, which I also have some experience with because I grew up in a forest outside of Ottawa. And in this forest, well, it was a neighborhood called Deerwood because we had deer and we had trees. And so we have encountered many animals during our stay there in the forest, and also traveling from coast to coast, we've encountered many wild animals as well. Heck, when I moved here to the Niagara region, I met my first possum. They're ugly little creatures, but they're cute in their own way. Not quite like porcupines. Oh, those things are adorable. I used to go through a walk in my forest and find a cabin that was made of wood, a wood cabin, yeah, a log cabin, whatever you want to call it. And there was a family of porcupines who took up residence in this abandoned log cabin. They used to sleep on the wall. Yeah, porcupines sleep vertically, hanging onto walls or trees. And I think that's really cute. Well, let's see if we find out about porcupines, beavers, moose, deer, bear in today's video as I get this picture out of the way and get this video underway.
What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and watch 30 interesting wild animal encounters in Canada. Americans already have a really firm idea in their mind that there's a bunch of wild, crazy animals running around in Canada.
It's pretty true. I mean, they're wild, they're not necessarily crazy, and there are a lot of them all over the place, yeah.
That Canadians are interacting with them and riding mooses, and also...
the plural of moose is moose, just to be clear. And no, we don't ride them regularly. That's very rare because moose are gigantic and they're not easily tamed. And if you want to ride a moose, you have to be incredibly daring and adventurous because they don't want to let you on them.
Sorts of stuff that is probably an exaggeration, I would think.
Yes, we don't ride the moose or the deer. But they are everywhere. That's true.
But based on this video title here, I'm not so sure. Actually, based on this image that I'm looking at here,
that's not a real beaver, just to be clear.
You got some pretty strange looking, what is this, a beaver in a suit? Running around in Canada. But
the beavers don't wear clothes here in Canada. Like most wild animals, they just wear their fur.
Seriously. Hopefully these wild animal encounters aren't like excessively violent or anything crazy like that. So I guess as far as that's concerned, you've been warned that I have absolutely zero idea what's about to happen in this video.
Most wild animal encounters in Canada are completely harmless to both the animal and the human. unless vehicles are involved. Motor vehicles do a lot of damage to wild animals, and moose do a lot of damage to motor vehicles.
But that's kind of the fun, right? So, with that being said, let's take a look. Wild animal encounters in Canada.
I'm Wicked Wombat.
Okay, wombat. I didn't see a tail, so beaver was a safe assumption. Wombats and beavers, not terribly different, anatomically speaking. Wombat sees water and they're like, yeah, that's cool. Beaver sees water and they're like, damn that water.
And welcome to my channel. A feisty beaver gives these two quite the scare.
And that's a good reaction. Beaver are mostly harmless, but if you're in their territory, they will defend it, and they've got very pointy teeth. Beavers are the same type of family as rats, the rodentia, and as a matter of their species, their teeth constantly grow. So beavers started gnawing on trees in order to wear their teeth down so they didn't just grow right through their bottom jaw, which developed into taking down trees where they could then use the branches and logs to build lodges and dams.
Luckily, beavers are like cute, but not. Americans really like beavers and badgers and stuff like that, but this is the most... he wasn't being too aggressive, but he wasn't about to bite their head off, but this is the most aggressive beaver I've ever seen as an American.
Yeah, that is abnormally aggressive. Usually before a beaver will charge, they will use their giant tail to slap the water as kind of a warning that you should get away.
It's mostly funny. Oh. Whoa. Oh, wait.
Here.
It almost looked like it was turning back around. This would legitimately scare me.
Yes, as it should. Moose are gigantic. They're bigger than most cars, and they move quickly, and they are scary to be near. Yeah.
Because this is a moose. This could just take you out. Like, if it decided, it can do whatever it wants.
That's right. I've seen a moose sit on a car because the car was honking its horn and the moose was not having it. So it just plunked its butt right down on top of the car, and that car was not moving.
They seemed a little scared. I feel like they knew that. This could just, if it wants to run you over, you're done. Wow.
Here is a rare encounter between a lynx and a mountain lion.
Oh. Oh. Swatting. They're a lot like cats.
Well, they are cats. Lynx is a type of cat, and a mountain lion is also a type of cat. So, yes, they are big wild cats.
Like house cats. They do the swat.
Mountain goats. Not even phased that I pull right up to them, eh? Like, what are you doing, bro? We're just eating gravel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, goats are weird. And they don't care about humans. They'll just let you do your thing unless you start to threaten them, and then they will attack.
They're really okay with him being there. That could be just because they're in a populated area and the mountain goats are used to it. I really don't know much about mountain goats.
Oh yeah, there you go. Get a little spooked. I'll see if I can get close to one anyways.
Yeah, you really don't find this in the United States. Oh. What?
So, if I'm not mistaken, that's a buffalo chasing a bear.
What's that thing on the right? What is that thing on the right? Is that a buffalo?
A moose camps.
Yeah.
What? What is that thing?
Yeah, that was a buffalo defending its water from a bear. Because buffalo are bigger than bears.
We don't have that in the United States. I know the bear. The bear's just a bear, but what? I'd be running away too if I was that bear. What is this?
Yeah, so in the United States, they hunted the buffalo to near extinction because they were just really easy prey during the Wild West expansion. Up in Canada, we have preserved the buffalo, and, well, they're big.
Okay.
A moose camps the night in a stranger's house.
What? What? How?
All right, if a moose lets itself in your house, you just kind of gotta go with it because what else you gonna do, right? That moose is huge and it is comfortable where it is. So you just give it some space and some time and hope that it finds its way back outside.
Why? What? I've seen this with deer in the United States, and maybe even a horse I would understand. But a moose?
Yeah, moose just do what they want, and there's no stopping them.
What? Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Can that bear even
Yes, bears climb mountains and trees.
get down? I don't think the bear is graceful enough to do this.
Look at that.
Oh, they're good at it, but they're not as good as the mountain goat. They can walk up practically vertical surfaces. Bear, they climb, so not quite as effective. But yeah, this is not uncommon.
The mountain goats are good at traversing this type of landscape, but not a bear, right?
Bear's good at it, just not as good.
She's like trying
Oh.
to touch this moose. This is not
What?
a good idea.
Yeah, this is not a good idea. Wait, maybe it is a good idea. He seems really okay with it.
Well, that was a very nice moose.
What? What? They are so gigantic, man.
Yeah.
But trying to touch it? Man.
Well, the moose was lying down, so you could actually get close to it. It's when they stand up that you want to get away because you never know when they're going to turn and kick, or if they're just going to headbutt you, which that'll do a lot of damage.
That's, that could go really right or really wrong.
And yes, that's the sound a moose makes.
Seems nice. Oh,
It's goat licking arm. I'm talking to the goat.
What?
I'm talking to the goat. He's licking the salt off my arm. That's
Okay.
one friendly goat.
Yeah, so a little known fact, if your dog is licking your face or your cat is licking your hands, you might think it's because they love you, but it's actually because you're salty and they like your taste.
Okay, that's
Okay.
enough.
that's enough. Yeah.
Where are the two?
Oh, they blend in really well. Their natural
Oh, you
habitat.
got a good one. Wow. Where
Rabbits?
is he, Bob? In front of us.
Yep, snowy rabbits. Rabbits are very common in Canada, coast to coast. They're all over the place.
Okay. So far, this stuff is pretty tame. I mean, some of it's actually like people are inches from death if the animal decided, but luckily the animals have been chill.
Yeah, thankfully goats aren't actually that threatening most of the time. They can be, but they're usually not.
Except for those cats killing each other and that bear.
Yeah, now I got him.
Apparently, beavers can compete in any weight division.
What? Is a beaver gonna...
Oh yeah, that beaver is attacking that bear.
What? Oh,
A beaver and a bear fighting.
wow. This is... The bear doesn't seem too interested. Wow.
Well, the beaver pelt is very thick, much like the hide of a bear, which means they're not really going to penetrate each other's skin, but they sure will clamp on and hurt each other. And bears are not stupid. They're rather careful, so when they notice that they're no match for the beaver, they will turn tail and run.
I mean, the beaver could just walk away. No, he wants to win. The beaver doesn't want to walk away. He wants to win the fight. He's pushing his luck a little bit. Oh. Okay.
Those bear cubs on top of a car? So they can do definite damage to the roof of the car, maybe cave it in. At the very least, create some big dents.
Yeah, nothing you can really do at this point. Oh. You just kind of gotta let this happen. I'm not about to tell the bears to get off my car. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. And if you're in a bear encounter, being inside a vehicle is probably one of the more safe places to be, because very few bears know how to open doors yet. There are some, and they're all over the country, and it is documented. Yes, bears know how to open doors. Some of them. So far.
What was that?
That's someone banging on a window trying to be like, hey, get away from my car, because what else are you gonna do? Like, there was one time there was a bear in our backyard out in the forest, and my dad, like, threw a hammer at the bear just to be like, get out of here, we've got things to do.
Someone chopping wood? Oh, they're trying to scare them away. The bears are playing.
Yeah, but if you see bear cubs, you don't want to mess with them, because Mama Bear is not far away, and she will mess you up.
Oh, now,
A
wow.
mother bear and her cubs cross a busy road in the town of Banff.
I don't care.
Oh, it's a baby! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That is the smallest bear cub I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never lived anywhere where bears, even though there are bears in the United States, I've never lived somewhere where bears, you could see them cross the road or close to a town or something. Never seen one in real life. Maybe at a zoo.
Stop, stop, stop. Stop.
How common are bears and moose in Canada?
Well, that depends on your region. If you're in Eastern Canada, you're not likely to come upon a moose. If you're in Western Canada, you are far more likely to come upon a moose. Bear are pretty isolating creatures. Isolated. They isolate themselves, right? They like to live out in the forest, and sometimes you will see them leaving the forest and coming into town, or like this, crossing a road, because Banff is out in the wilderness. All right, so in my 37 years, I have heard many bears in the neighborhood, in my towns, in my cities. Yeah, I've heard of bears maybe every year or so, and I've only seen bears a few times, like that time in my backyard, another time in my backyard. A few times on road trips. Once when I was staying at Algonquin Park. Yeah, bears are everywhere.
I thought that was a kind of an exaggeration, but a lot of people filming this seem really comfortable around the moose and the bear.
Well, they mostly like to keep to themselves. It's a real novelty, especially for the city slickers who end up out in the forest or on a trip, and they're like, oh, a bear! I've read about these. Maybe seen them in the zoo. But the bears at the Toronto Zoo are very small, especially compared to a wild bear. They're pretty big.
Oh my god! Look behind you, sir!
What? They're like laughing.
I'm in the middle.
Oh, yeah, let her in.
Jesus!
Let her in the car.
Why the did you get out?
Stop!
Okay.
Go, go, go!
A calf moose does not exactly...
Little bears look weird. They look a little strange.
Go, go, go!
Huh.
A calf moose does not exactly thank its rescuer.
Come on, little girl. Hey.
Whoa. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, see, this is exactly... You never know. Oh, was he trying to help it?
yeah.
Yeah, you literally never know what a wild animal is going to do. That's the thing. Oh. Wow. This guy is pissed.
Yeah.
This little moose.
Yeah, moose are not scared of you. You should be scared of moose. The moose only have one natural predator, and it's the killer whale. No, I'm not joking. The moose dive underwater to eat sometimes, and the killer whale will eat a moose. And they're the only ones who will.
No call 'em being nasty. Come on. I wouldn't believe I just got my butt kicked by a calf moose.
Here are some beluga
He took
whales
it
that
well.
are looking for some camera time in Churchill, Canada.
This kind of scares me. Just not the beluga whale, but
Right, beluga are pretty friendly.
being underwater, the vast void of water and space is just kind of unnerving. These are interesting, though. Wow. They're very friendly or interested.
Yes, very curious, very friendly, very peaceful, and very cute.
The boat.
A man confuses a puffin.
A puffin. I'm vaguely aware of a puffin just from biology class or something. There's no puffins around here.
There are none in the Ontario area, but they're all over the Maritimes, and they're just adorable.
Oh, the puffin is confused.
Bird?
Oh,
Hey, bird.
oh.
That is a blue jay, and it is a very common in Ontario, which is why the Toronto baseball team is known as the Blue Jays.
Hello.
Something to eat, bird?
Oh. What? Oh, wow. Usually birds... I've never been this close to a bird. Birds in the United States,
Are not real.
I'm sure around the world, they do not let you get close to them usually. Maybe in a city where they're used to it and people feed them, but...
Yeah, where I live, my next door neighbor likes to feed the birds. So birds will congregate all over her backyard. And sometimes in our backyard. Thankfully, they haven't brought the rats yet, but if you throw food all over your backyard, you're gonna attract rats, so you gotta be a little careful about that. Mostly it will attract squirrels, and yes, there are squirrels all over the place. We have the brown squirrel, we have the black squirrel, we have the gray squirrel, we have the red squirrel, and they're all various degrees of nuisance. And yes, they will go after the birdseed. No matter how high you mount your bird feeder, they will find a way there. If it's a pole and you grease it, they're going to lick the grease off that pole so they can climb up the pole and get the birdseed. If you put it out on a laundry line, they will learn how to climb the laundry line. If you find some other way to suspend it in midair, they will leap and find their way to that birdseed. So if you want to feed the birds, just know that you're feeding squirrels.
Oh my goodness, baby.
Oh.
Please stay calm.
Okay. Wow.
In that situation, just enjoy the show because there's nothing you're going to do to dissuade that moose. If anything, you're just going to anger the moose, and your car will not like that.
I mean, at least there's a car in between them. Then it'd be kind of fun to see a moose this close. I mean...
So we've got...
Yeah, but if you own the car, it is also very stressful because you do not know what that moose is about to do.
a cougar.
It's insane. Like, they are very interesting animals. They are so huge,
Got
too.
a cougar. About
A
20 yards
cougar?
from the truck.
There's a cougar here, and you're
This
staying?
is insane. I cannot believe this.
I would rather be by a moose. At least a moose looks friendly, even if it could rip your head off. Cougars just look like they're fast and could do whatever in the blink of an eye.
It's true, they are, and they can. But me being a cat person, I would much rather be near a cougar or a mountain lion than near a moose. Because moose are huge.
He wants me. Holy shit, and he's not scared. And
Okay.
my pencil.
Here is a rare encounter between a lynx and a wolf.
Oh.
Oh, cat versus dog.
Yeah, we have wolves in the United States.
So I'm working away in my
no
office,
lynx.
and
A lot of different cats in Canada. Jeez.
I hear a knock at the front door. I go, well, maybe that's not a knock. So I take my camera out, and a giant red-headed woodpecker. This guy is huge. No excuses. Look at him tear the wood out of there.
Yes, they use their face as an axe to chop into wood. It's true. And they don't just go after wood. They will try and bury a hole into anything they think they can, including the side of your house. When I was growing up, we had an antenna tower go up the side of the house because this was before satellite and cable TV were ubiquitous. So we had a digital analog antenna that was run up a tower, and it was on a triangular metallic trellis that went all the way up. And there was a 2-week period where there was a woodpecker trying to make a home in the antenna tower. So I would be woken up every morning by one of these little bastards just kind of pecking its way on the metal, just clang, clang, clang. And it was very unpleasant for me. For the bird, it wasn't a big deal. They interestingly have a bunch of space cushion surrounding their brain. There's a fluid between their skull and their brain, so that when they use excessive force to bash their face into a tree, their brain just kind of sloshes around gently inside.
That's pretty interesting.
Here is how a bull elk sheds its antlers.
Oh, an elk. Wow. I didn't know they shed.
That bull just lost both of his antlers right in front of me.
Huh. Some of this is pretty cool, actually. It's not all just violent. Oh! Some of it is violent, though.
That bear does not like your music.
What? He's opening his window. He's goading it. Okay. What? Is it?
Danger moose.
Okay, you would think... Wait, it's actually running with them. Oh, it's interested. You would think most of the time that wild animals are curious, but don't want to interact with people much. But a lot of these Canadian animals really seem like they do want to interact with people.
Predators.
Well, that has a lot to do with the amount of free space they have. So Canada, which is larger in size than the United States, has a population that is, less than the state of California. So our population is very spread out. They're mostly in the south, and that leaves a lot of wilderness for the animals to enjoy, which means they come across a human and they're curious for sure.
Barely acknowledge each other.
Oh. Huh. They're just chill. They're just chill like that, okay? Okay. What is that? Is that a type of bear? And a wolf?
What was that? Like a wolverine, maybe? A badger? It's hard to tell because they're very similar, but yeah, the wolf doesn't care.
Yeah, these cats, these lynxes. Oh.
And that cat just got a rabbit.
Okay.
Here we see a lynx taking
kind of gruesome
on a full-grown mule deer.
Really the circle of life there. Hold on, what is this?
Full-grown mule deer.
This is a deer throwing around a cat, a lynx, and that's pretty funny, right?
Here we see a lynx taking on a full-grown mule deer.
Oh, yeah. What? It's swinging on its head. What? What's it trying to do?
Well, the lynx is trying to go for the throat, probably, and the deer is just being like, hey, get off of me.
What? What's the objective? What's the purpose? Huh. Oh, beaver. Wow, it's actually amazing how it can take down that whole tree. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's actually genuinely amazing. A little creature like that can do this just by chomping at it. That's actually really cool. It can manipulate nature like in a really big way.
Oh yeah, beavers are wonderful at deconstruction and at construction. Where I grew up, there was a pond not far away that was created from a stream that the beavers just decided to dam. They built a dam that stopped the stream. It made a pond where they built a lodge. And whenever you went for a walk around there, you'd see the beaver. Usually they'd be swimming, but sometimes they'd be up on land, and you could always see trees that were recently felled, or the stump, anyway. Yeah.
Oh. Bear.
Oh, shut up, shut up.
Yeah.
I am. Oh my god.
A huge 14-point bull elk is spotted in Saskatchewan.
Wow, I need something for scale here, though. But it looks massive. I need someone standing next to it.
So elk are smaller than moose, but larger than the deer. I know, that doesn't really give a lot of context, does it?
Like, would a human head be level with its head? Is it, like, 6 feet tall? And look at those antlers, man.
Yeah, about 6-7 feet tall, I suppose.
They are almost as tall as he is. That is insane.
And that was the sound that an elk makes.
Looks like a mythical creature. It really looks like a mythical creature.
And I think they sound like one as well. Yeah.
Here is an up-close recording of a wolf in the wild.
What? How are we... It's acting like a dog. How are we this close?
Oh yeah, wolves and dogs are not that different from each other.
This wolf doesn't even care either. Why are we this close? How did he know the wolf was so chill?
Well, I'm guessing that the wolf was just chilling there, enjoying the sun. The person was walking by, and they're like, whoa, hey, that's a wolf right there. And the wolf's like, hey, what's up?
It's like a dog. Okay. Oh! This is the most athletic-looking mountain goat
Oh yeah, they are muscular creatures.
that I've ever seen. He's swole. Oh, he took his thing. He took his glove. That is unlucky.
Thank you so
Yeah, that's like any dog, right? You let it take your shoe, it's gonna take your shoe. You let the wolf take your glove, it's gonna take your glove.
much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great day.
This freaking talking badger, man.
Wombat.
If you gotta have a mascot, wicked wombat. Oh, it's a wombat. It's not a badger. Okay, I'm glad. I liked it. I liked the video. Okay. Okay, that was fun. That was really interesting. There was only a little bit of violence. A lot of attempted violence.
I was surprised at the lack of deer. Sure, there was the one that was wrangling a lynx, but hey, where I come from, deer are very common. We used to watch them out our kitchen window while we were eating breakfast, and they would look at us, and we would look at them, and then they would look away, and we would continue looking at them. I'm surprised we didn't see any turkey, because where I grew up, turkey would use our backyard as a runway to get a lot of speed so they could fly up into the trees, and the trees would just sag under all the weight of those turkeys. And yes, turkeys fly. It's true. They just need a bit of a running start.
If anything, I learned Canadians either find themselves in predicaments around wild animals a lot and are comfortable filming it, or, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think any American in these situations would whip out their phone and try to film it as well.
That makes sense. It's nothing that I've felt inclined to do. Back when I was in the forest, we didn't have cameras in our pockets all the time, so I don't have any evidence of these animal stories that I'm sharing. Hey, the one time that I met a possum, I was sitting outside in my backyard here where I live now in the Niagara region, and I noticed there was something walking by me, and I looked down, and there's this possum, and it looks up at me, and I'm like, damn, you're an ugly little thing, aren't you? And then it just shuffled away.
But in some of these, I was thinking, like, don't you realize you're in, like, life-threatening danger in a way? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm overly cautious, but I'm just so aware of what a wild animal is capable of. But most of this stuff was actually just cool, really chill. Some of the wolves or bears were really chill. They were just literally sitting, chilling.
Yeah.
So this was a good variety. I don't know if this is representative of what would happen if you visited Canada. I don't know if a lot of people in Canada have experiences encountering wild animals like this.
Yes, and in my experience, it's all really chill. Most of the time, the wild animal is curious about you, and you're probably about as scared as it is. So y'all just want to leave each other alone, enjoy the moment, and don't mess with the younglings.
There's a pretty big diversity of animals in this compilation, whereas in America, you really only see deer. Rarely you would ever see a bear, or anything else for that matter. Anything substantial. But in Canada, there's quite a few interesting little critters running around, a lot of which are terrifying, but very cool nonetheless, very interesting.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this will bring us to our French word of the day. Now, I've got a lot of choices here, like animal, which is animaux. Animaux. But I think instead we're going to go with something like bear, which is ours or ourson. And that is the French word for bear, ours. I don't know the etymology behind it. I can't explain it. I just know that ours, ourson, ours means bear. Yeah.
Anyway, if you found this video cool and interesting, feel free to give it a like.
If you
or
did,
leave a
go
comment.
ahead.
And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada,
me reacting
Canadian
to
culture,
him,
things,
reacting
stuff
to
in
us
Canada
and
that I've never seen
ours.
before, feel free to subscribe for more.
Go
and
ahead.
Until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, because I enjoyed it thoroughly. And, well, isn't that really what matters, is that we have a good time while we're here, because we're not here for a long time, and we might as well enjoy and make the most of what we have. Now, I'm going to get back to preparing apples. I think my last gallon just finished preparing, and I have to go start the next one. Well, I'm going to be busy for the next several days just preparing apples, and I'm going to be sick of apples in a week. But I hope you still enjoyed your time here like I did. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate those likes. I appreciate any subscription you might want to throw my way. And I hope you just keep being awesome. Bye.
Science. Spirit. Life. Nerd Pumpkin.